talk about why companies are making such mistakes of not tracking. For example, there's an apology from some of the CEOs. Sorry, we made a mistake. Why are you doing this? All these companies are very bright. Market values them. Microsoft, Google, they're all valued extensively in the marketplace, right? How do they make these mistakes? I've been reflecting on this for the last 2 years. Companies must realize, and this MNCs do in the non-IT space. If you look at companies in FMCG, headcount is a very important matter. They will never hire somebody unless somebody makes a business case out of that person hiring. What is the revenue you will get? What is the cost you will get? And they'll also have to talk about sustenance of that role. Where will that role go? You don't hire X number of people because there's sudden demand for the people. I don't know what I will do. So I hire a lot of people. When the demand goes away, you can sack. That's not a model. And one of the reasons is because some of the business lines all these companies set up, they're not attractive anymore. Suddenly they realize, we got all these people, we got a business line which is not producing result. We'll ask them to go. So this is really mercenary behavior. What we are saying, companies are saying, okay, as long as you give me some money and return, I'll keep you. If you don't do, I'll ask you to go. Okay, let me look at the other way. Employees do it all the time. Employees all the time, they say, I got a better job, I will go. So what happened is, when employees are mercenary, they're only interested in their well-being and they keep changing jobs every 1 year, 2 years because of beneficial. Companies are doing the same thing to them. So the mercenary behavior of companies is also coming from the mercenary behavior of employees. But having said that, I would say there are 3 important points companies have to do going forward so that it doesn't happen. 1, when a new role or new hiring has to be happening for a new role, we need to have absolute clarity on the job description and how to measure capacity utilization of that role. If you don't have capacity utilization calculation for that role, don't hire. Because what will you do? You will do only 20% of the time is occupied, but you are seeing a value in the 20%, 80% of the time is idle, and over a period of time it becomes unsustainable. So capacity utilization measurement, reports on that is very important. Second, okay, capacity utilization is there. Where is the productivity? Is there a measurement of productivity? Typically, people say, oh, we have a measurement of productivity because regularly we measure is the outcome. Outcome is called a lag indicator. You know only when it is completed. For example, let me take a simple example to explain this. Imagine you are building a house. The outcome of the house is to complete the house and you take possession of the house and move into the house. This is called outcome. Imagine you are building the house yourself. You got a piece of land and you are building on top of that. Can you say, okay, I give some contract to somebody and I'll come to the house only when the house is completed, I'll go and see. This is called outcome-based management. This is completely faulty because you'll come to know when the outcome is completed, the house is built and this is not what you wanted. Now the second part is called effort. Effort is how much of money that you are spending, how many days it will take, how many labor effort is required. This is called effort. But supposing the contractor tells you, you have to pay me so much money, this is the material you have to supply, you can do all of this to him. This is all called the input side or the effort side. But what you have to measure on a daily or a weekly basis is the progress of work and what we call as output, daily or weekly output. So it is extremely important when you build a house, you should have a measurement of deciding how the weekly progress, what is the output I want in this week, and compare against it. Are you ahead of it? Are you behind it? And do corrective actions all the time. So the entire tragedy of tech layoff, the entire tragedy of work from home, etc. is brought to light one thing. It's not enough to measure time. For example, there is an article about a lady being sacked in British Columbia because there is a tech app, it measures how much time you spend on the system, and she was faking the time, and the software caught her and the company sacked her. And the court also accepted it. But this is input measurement, right? The purpose of working from home is to give the employee flexibility to find out how they want to work, how long they want to work. So if you don't have a daily input or a weekly output measurement, then obviously you don't know whether the person is delivering or is in the direction of delivery to get the outcome that you want over a period of time. These are called lead indicators. So my submission is, this is the time for every company, every role that you set up. Apart from capacity utilization, you ask what are the lead indicators of performance. They could be weekly measurement. How do you measure it? How do you set up targets? And how do you measure the actuals against it? So it is important that you measure a daily or weekly output of every single role, and that output measurement should be defined before you hire that person. And that person should be told, this is how you're going to measure. If you do these two, capacity utilization and daily or weekly output measurement, you will not face the scenario of suddenly discovering I have so many employees who are unutilized, or so many employees are unproductive. Okay, so that's the message I want to focus on for employer side. Thank you.